Folks, I was not sure if I was going to make a video like this, but I've decided to do it while the feeling is still hot and inside of me, because last evening at Cardiff, UK, at Principality Stadium in Wales, Oasis kicked off their live 25 world tour reunion. After 16 years, the brothers Liam and Noel Gallagher got back together and performed. Folks, we've been waiting for this for almost a year since it was announced. I have been waiting at bated breath with fingers crossed that it wouldn't explode and blow up and that something wouldn't happen to ruin the reunion. They did it, folks. They pulled it off last night in Cardiff. And folks, I was there. You might be saying, Matt, what are you talking about? How are you there? You're from Boston, Massachusetts area. How are you in Cardiff, UK to see the Oasis first night of the world tour? Folks, thank you to fans out there with cell phones who streamed live pre-show, who streamed the opening acts, who streamed Oasis, who took footage of every song from the show from every conceivable angle. Way back, up close, stuff of the Jumbotron, everything on the side, this side, that side, the back, the front. Folks, felt like you were there. If you did like I did and sat and watched numerous videos that fans posted on YouTube, you've got the vibe, you got the feeling of what it was like being there. And I'm so thankful for that, because I won't see them until the end of August, coming into 1st of September. I think I'm going August 31st in New Jersey to see them at the stadium down there at MetLife Stadium. I can't wait. But I felt like I was there last night. So thank you to all the fans, especially Hazy Daisy. Did anyone watch the Hazy Daisy channel live stream? He was streaming before the show. He was streaming during the show, after the show. Thank you to Hazy Daisy. If I subscribe to his channel as a thanks, to thank him for what he did. But he was one of the great ones with the live stream. But there were other people that posted immediately after the show ended. And folks, the fans arriving, the weather couldn't have been better. It was sunny, it was beautiful. People were wearing their bucket hats, their Oasis gear. People, carrying drinks, having a good time, laughing, anticipating the big reunion. The swag, the merchandise was so cool looking. They got such cool stuff. I can't wait to check out when I go see them. Cool items that you can't believe. And I'll try to post some if I can find them. But like I said, the excitement was there. People were just so pumped up and excited. And I have to admit, I'm sitting at home watching these videos and I'm getting excited. I'm getting emotional watching what's about to happen. One of the greatest rock and roll bands of all time is about to reunite, something we never thought would happen. And there you go. It hit me, folks. I don't know any of you felt the same way if you're into it like I am, but I was getting emotional. I was like, this is unbelievable. This is a happening. We haven't had a cool rock and roll happening in a long, long time. So Oasis, thank you. This was needed by all us fans of rock and roll out here. Well, anyway, they started out with the track from Standing on the Shoulder of Giants called Effing, I don't want to say the word, I'm Matthew Street, I never swear on my channel, Effing in the Bushes, which was a cool way to get the crowd pumped up and ready for the start. So that was the intro. That song comes blaring out of the speakers. The stage with Oasis was very sparse, very minimal, but they had a huge Jumbotron, that like the biggest Jumbotron I've ever seen, that had wonderful graphics, wonderful imagery, just beautiful color. It just was fantastic. The band comes walking out. Liam and Noel, hand in hand with their arms raised in the air, walking together. What an emotional moment. The two brothers together on stage, first time in like 16 years. They come out, they strap on their instruments, and they start with Hello from What's the Story, Morning Glory. What a way to get hello, it's good to be back, it's good to be back, what a great way to kick off. Then they went into Acquiesce, which was fantastic because both brothers sing lead on that song. Acquiesce rocks. They went into the song Morning Glory, which was unbelievable. They did all of the big ones, folks. This tour appears to be like they're going to focus on the fan favorites for this tour. Heavy on the early period of their career. After Morning Glory, they went into Some Might Say, which this whole show, the crowd singing along, you have to see it. Go to the YouTube videos and check out some of these songs. The crowd, older people like me, older fans who were young, late 20s, early 30s when we first got into Oasis, who are now in our 60s, fans like us were there. Fans in their 50s were there, their 40s, their 30s. But more than that, the people under age 30 that I saw in the crowd. People that there's no way they could have seen them live before they broke up in '09. People that were just little teeny tiny tots when Oasis were still together. These young people who were experiencing Oasis for the first time with tears in their eyes, cheering, yelling, screaming, jumping up and down. It was such a wide, diverse group of people from all different backgrounds. It was unbelievable. Some might say everyone's singing and then Bring It On Down kicked ass. It was rocking, cigarettes and alcohol next. Fade Away, another fast one. Supersonic, boom, hit after hit after hit. Roll With It next. And then after Roll With It, a little lull, because then Noel does a little solo, not a solo spot, but Liam kind of fades off the stage a little bit, and Noel did Talk Tonight, acoustic, beautiful. He did Half a World Away, beautiful, 2 cool mellow ballads, and then Noel does Little by Little. Unbelievable. One of the later songs they did. And Little by Little killed. People were singing louder than ever. You could barely hear Noel. That's how loud the crowd was singing Little by Little. Boom. Then after that one, then Liam comes back out. They do Do You Know What I Mean from Be Here Now. I love that song. Stand By Me, which really emotions were hitting me during Stand By Me. The meaning of that song and everything. I'm sitting there watching it going, this is unbelievable. And they nailed it, folks. The playability, having Bonehead on that third guitar along with Gem and Noel, the power with 3 guitars, and Andy Bell holding it down on the bass. And Joey Waronker was pristine on the drums. He's a hell of a drummer. And Liam, vocally, he was spot on. So was Noel when he sang, spot on. It was like you were watching Oasis from 25, 30 years ago. That's how good they were. Liam didn't switch around lyrics or add stuff or not say. He was spot on, and he kept right on target and kept the songs the way they're meant to be played, and it sounded perfect. So after Stand By Me, they do Cast No Shadow, then they do Slide Away, Whatever, which is a B-side, great B-side, Whatever, then Live Forever. Look for a video out there of Live Forever. What an emotional moment that was. Rock and Roll Star ends the main set. Oh, go find Rock and Roll Star from last night out there on YouTube. Turn it up and tell me. That's what rock and roll is all about. And in this day and age, 2025, folks, we need it. We need rock and roll. And to hear Oasis play Rock and Roll Star last night, if you that doesn't hit you emotionally as a rock and roll fan, check your pulse. Go get a life. Just go away, because you can't be a fan of rock and roll and not see Oasis play Rock and Roll Star last night at their big reunion and not be emotionally moved by that. It was fantastic. So they end the main set with Rock and Roll Star. Then they come out and do the Master Plan. Great song, just such a wonderful, well done song. And then Don't Look Back in Anger. Audience participation. Audience sang it so loud and so pure and so emotionally, it just hits you. Wonderwall comes next. Beautiful vocals by Liam throughout the whole show. Liam was great. And then they end on Champagne Supernova. Folks, and then I watched some videos of people leaving, and people were just stunned, just so happy, so emotional as to what they just witnessed. And even though I wasn't there, I felt like I had witnessed it too. Thanks to you fans out there, especially Hazy Daisy. Go to the Hazy Daisy YouTube channel. He was live streaming a good portion of everything. And folks, it was absolutely wonderful. So I just want to come here and say, my review, A+. Oasis did everything they had to do. Great set list, sounded great, sang great, played great, spot on, A+ reunion show, one of the best. I've watched a lot of Oasis on YouTube shows and whatnot. I've seen Oasis twice live. Or was it 3 times live? Before this, back in the original days, I saw Oasis. They were great then, but this has to be like one of the best shows I've ever seen of Oasis. They were spot on, folks. They are on target for this reunion, and I'm hoping that focus of theirs, they had focus last night, I hope it stays throughout this whole 41-date tour, and you're going to be in for a treat if you're going to see them. And hats off to the opening acts. I wasn't familiar with the first one. I only saw a bit of them, but Richard Ashcroft, formerly of The Verve, he was fantastic. He really got the crowd into it. He did all his big hits from The Verve, his solo stuff. Final song he did was Bittersweet Symphony. What a great version. Spot on, Richard. So folks, the Oasis Live 2025, Live 25 tour has begun. It continues on. I think it's again tonight in Cardiff, and then it moves on. But I'm just here to give my review and say 2 thumbs up. Great show. I am so excited and pumped to see them later in August. I think it's August 31st or September 1st. One of the 2 shows in Jersey I'm going to. Folks, Oasis. Man, you know, there's not a lot of great rockers still left out there. They're just not out there that are at their peak level, you know, like at top form level. Oasis is still at their top peak form level live. And I'm praying and hoping after this tour, they work on a new album. And then in 2026, we get another big world tour with some new music being played on that one. I'll be there. Hope you will too. Hey, get on board the train before it's too late, folks, because there's not going to be too many more moments like this in the history of rock and roll where one of the greatest bands of all time get back together and they bring the goods. They bring it home. They have it. A+ Oasis. Love you all. Bye-bye.